didn't think I was. I didn't think I was. I didn't do anything illegal.
No.
I mean, not. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Kid in a Sweet Shop. Today I have come to Bicester Heritage, which has become a hub for all things classic car related. And I'm here to see one of my great friends, the lovely David Gandy, who said he's going to be turning up any moment now in something very small, very special and very Italian.
How much fun is this?
That is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
I actually fit this better than I actually fit some normal size classic cars as well.
Oh my God, it's brilliant.
It's gorgeous, isn't it? So much fun. Fully electric.
Fully electric?
Yeah.
Okay, I was about to say I can't hear much.
No, 75% full scale model.
Yeah.
Actually, like Ferrari honoured as well, so
it's got the okay from the factory.
Got the okay from the factory.
That's not easy to get either.
No, not
I
at all.
love it.
So based on a 1957 Testa Rossa.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at it, it's just amazing.
I want one.
I want this. I'm not getting out.
Oh my God, it's brilliant.
Incredible, isn't it?
It's absolutely
so
beautiful.
Much fun. Chuck this handbrake on.
I love it. Anyway, how are you, buddy?
I'm all right. I'm good. Hang on. Let me get out of this thing.
You don't need to get out. No. You just step out.
I'll just do a Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh,
there we go. Oh.
So nice to see you.
Oh, yeah. Definitely not missing you in this weather today, by the way.
No, I know. Sorry, I brought the rain. Come on, go. I want to show you. This is classic performance engineering, and they are so cool. And I know that you've just finished a build because you are. Yes, you love your classics.
Just finishing the build. Yeah.
Just finishing the build. It's taken several years. So I thought you'd like to have a quick look in here because they've got some lovely cars.
Love, you know me, absolutely.
And then maybe we can have a look at your finished product.
We'll do.
So I'm very excited. Anyway, should we?
Right.
I'm sad to leave my
little electric car.
We're coming out the rain. Here we are, getting from the wind. So this is classic performance engineering, and basically they were started really predominantly getting cars ready to race.
Okay.
And then kind of went into restoration.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously look at the beautiful Series 1 E-Type.
Yeah.
This was a full restoration.
That's gorgeous, isn't it?
Isn't it pretty?
I don't fit those.
No, the steering wheels are way too big.
Your bum's loose, so your hips are everything, your legs are up. I don't know.
I know, but you look cool. So I don't care.
That's basically
I don't care if I can't drive or if I can't change gear, I look cool.
You must be like me, you fitted into cars that you shouldn't have fitted into or should not be driving.
Like
no, absolutely.
I remember the GT40.
Shoes are off.
Exactly. And then I have to say, this is one of my favourites, always has been. So this is the 250 California Spider, but the long wheelbase.
Yeah.
I like the shorter wheelbase.
I do, yeah. I mean, this has got to be on the list of everyone's favourite.
Isn't it? It's just
so
beautiful, and it's so amazing to drive. I've been really lucky to have driven one of the original ones, and it was just, it's immaculate, isn't it? Look how beautiful. I mean, it really is very, very, very
Absolutely stunning.
pretty.
I also like them in that midnight blue they do. You see me in that? That's my dream. What is it with? Is it Tom Cruise, Vanilla Sky, and he gets off out of
Yes, he
Times
does,
Square?
you're right.
That's
And
my
yeah.
dream.
That's next on the list, isn't it?
Yes, I don't think that will ever, unless it's like a mini scale model of that, then that's about the
Yes.
only way I will
that
ever
is
get
very-
into a 250.
And I love this. So this is the fire tender for every single Grand Prix at Silverstone.
That is so cool.
Isn't it cool? And look, so you've got the foam
Yeah.
in the back there,
Right.
and then you've got the hose. I think it's just
That is
brilliant.
mad.
Isn't it amazing?
Well, you know how I love my Jags, and you know how I love
I
my
know.
XJs.
It's so cool.
That's fab, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Great
It's
car.
lovely. And it's lovely to see things kind of being restored and being put back to
Yeah.
what it originally looked like. And
So I've just got great memories of being in Jaguar XJs, driving around Europe with the family. I mean,
Yeah.
they're good memories now. I'm not sure if they were good at the time, but we used to go skiing
well, I
in
think that
them.
we did that, didn't we? We drove well around Italy. We won
We did.
very quickly.
Yeah.
And then we've got a lovely Allard. So this is really interesting. So it's a 1950 sports car,
Okay.
but it's got a Cadillac V8 in it.
Wow.
So it's quite fruity. It's very, very fruity. And this is very special. This is a Ferguson. And this is a four-wheel drive. And this won at Alton in the Gold Cup with the most wonderful man ever, Sterling Moss. We
Okay.
miss you. But he actually won. So this is a,
Four-wheel drive.
yes, four-wheel drive, Ferguson.
didn't know
And
they
then
were
this
four-wheel drive.
this is basic one in the world.
Yeah.
So this is the Bentley Specials. Help me lift this up. Look at this engine. Look at that engine.
Wow.
So this is an original 1970s V8 supercharged Bentley engine, but it just looks brand new, doesn't
Stunning,
it?
isn't it?
I mean, it's been restored a couple of years ago by these guys. I just couldn't believe that it wasn't all brand spanking new. It's fantastic, isn't it? Love it.
Yeah.
We could just
Well, we could. I know.
we could just tinker and look at
tinker for
garages and
hours.
cars forever. So lovely old D-Type,
Lovely old D-Type. Look at it.
gorgeous though.
Absolutely gorgeous.
And I think this one has been absolutely stripped back for a rebuild for racing the whole season next year.
It's still the car. If anyone says money no object, what would you have? D-Type or an XKSS?
Is it? Still?
Still.
Yeah, I mean,
We'll
it's
never
very
have
special.
one, but unfortunately.
Listen, got to look big. It's going to happen. It's very, very. I
absolutely
mean, I
lovely.
don't. What's the price tag now if you get a
Well, I mean,
semi-decent
I
D-Type?
don't know, but I mean, XKSS.
Millions.
I drove back a few years ago and it was original, untouched, and he said he's had an offer of 15 for one, and he just said no to it. So I don't know what they are, the original XKSS. So mad. It's always common when
Yeah,
you
okay,
take a
so
car
keep
out.
dreaming, keep
yeah,
dreaming.
no, exactly. Someone says, please don't prank my 15 million pound
can
car.
you? And can you imagine? I mean, we were driving those quite quickly around Italy in the Miglia.
Quite quickly.
This is very special. So this is a Lotus.
Okay.
This is it's a 1958 works Le Mans car. And actually, would have been really interesting is that this car would have been racing in the same kind of races as that one. So isn't it great? It's just beautiful. So I thought you'd like this because
I
you've
do.
spent
This
you've
is my-
spent a long time doing up your cars. What was your first? What was the first one you did? The one I came
the
down.
190.
It's a 190.
190. Sold that
Gorgeous.
just before lockdown. Actually, I wasn't using it much.
No.
I always think that classics should be used and enjoyed, and I wasn't driving it enough. A lovely family came down and fell in love with it. I liked them, and
So it's got a happy
that was
home.
that. It's got a very happy home. And I was
you
quite
just-
picky. I'm a little bit pathetic. I'm
Well,
quite picky about
tell
people
me
who
about it.
buy
When
my
you-
cars.
When you took me through the build,
Yeah. Well, that was
I mean,
quite.
I know how
that was.
picky you are. Down to
The restorer's here
millimetre.
somewhere. He's just
I
trying to
know, he
avoid me,
is.
actually. Parry at the moment.
Because
Yeah.
you've been working on your Porsche now for how long?
Oh goodness me. Well, we kind of had the pandemic and lockdown has put a few spanner in the works, excuse the pun. We're probably about 4 years now, but there has been sort of delays of a couple of years, so it would have been a couple of years, just 2.5 years.
And this is the most exciting thing is here we have a track. Has she been around a track?
She's barely been on the road, barely driven it.
So this will be the
first time, absolutely. And we can get, we can take it up to at least 25 miles an hour.
No, absolutely not. There's no way. She's going to get a good thrashing. Come on, let's go meet her. Oh my gosh, she's beautiful.
Thank you. Pretty cars, aren't they? 356s. So this is a 64 356C. So basically the last year. So sorry, I think 65 were the last year. 64, the 911 came out. And then this was stocked in 65. So this is a 64 version.
I can just see your styling. I mean, she is immaculate.
I mean, this is the most I put into my own personal kind of detailing and styling and
from
design.
The colour.
From the colour to the wheels, to the bumpers, to the luggage, the steering wheel, to the colours, to the houndstooth, everything. So it's taken a while, but she's turned out well.
Beautiful. Come on, get
Ready
in.
For
I want to
spin?
get out. I want to drive. It's so exciting. I feel like, oh, look inside. Here we are, we're on the track. Third time you've driven her, and first
Pretty
time
much.
she's been on a track.
So there's a few funny noises. We're still...
I think. Yeah, it's here. And then there's a few funny noises.
That's just for me. Yeah, so we just, and then I wasn't going to put in as much detail before.
You weren't going to put in as much detail.
No, to the
as
190. No, I've literally said to Parry, kind of get going, get it not running, but running at how we sort of wanted to look, and then it changed. And then I was like, right, well, if we're doing that much, then I want to put a bit more of me into it, of how I perceive like the 356 should look.
And that's going down to this, like the leather, the colour of the paint from the outside, the wheels, well, I mean everything, the wheels.
Everything really. Yeah. So, and that's what we did, Joe's really.
And the one, so I was lucky enough to see your 190 and she was absolutely beautiful, but you would, I mean literally you went down to the rivet, had to be the right rivets, and I mean the stitching, I mean it was
absolute originality, taking off the Weber carburetors, putting the original carburetors, everything. And Parry, who does that, he judges concourse,
yes, exactly.
Specialises in 190s, and so that's the detail he did. This one I just had a bit more free reign, I thought, with Porsches. Yeah. So, Porsches are...
Is that just because there's more variety?
It doesn't matter so much about, I feel, about the matching numbers, because people take their engines out and put new engines in them.
Yeah, it's true.
So that's what we did pretty much.
Matching?
No.
Okay.
No. We took the engine out, refurbished engine, bored it out to a whole 90 brake horsepower.
She's got 90 horses.
90 horses.
Good little baby.
And
she's great though. She's really well.
She's a fun little thing. Yeah, we've got to change the power. I was just discussing with Parry actually. We've got to change a few things around, which is around 3,000. The power's
the braking, the accelerator pedal to the right way.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just absolutely gorgeous. And your style, you're so incredibly well known for obviously being one of the most successful supermodels, but also incredible style, and you can really kind of see that in your cars.
I mean, the thing is like with the, people talk about fashion and styling and design, it's why Ralph Lauren and so many designers, they're into their cars, they're into their watches. It's just design, pretty much, and that's so. This took a long process, but I wanted the bumpers. The bumpers are sort of this horrid sort of mid 60s kind of. They were quite far away from the body, big chrome on them. They came from America, so they stripped it all back.
Yeah.
They're all sort of hand beaten by Paris guys.
Yeah.
So much closer, much more sort of rounded design, closer to the body, which is a bit like what the sort of 356A is a bit more like. The Rudge wheels I wanted on them, so I found those. So I sourced a lot of stuff, also myself.
So it's like totally, it's almost unique.
Yeah, and then the steering wheel, and then the the puppy tooth or the dog tooth middle centre, which is a very Porsche. Porsche 911s are still doing that on the 911R. Steve McQueen had that on his, I believe it's 912 or 911. And then we got the luggage made by Bridge of Weird. David Mason did that for me.
This is beautiful.
So we just matched the leather and the colour of the cars. And then, so it was meeting a fine balance between the originality of stuff that Porsche did, things that I wanted. So, of course, you took it into concourse and they would say, it's not original, it's just not how it would be, unlike the 190.
So we did the Mille Miglia together in 2015, 14?
Yeah,
and we did it, for Jaguar in an XK140, no, what is it, 120?
120, yeah.
It's my dyslexic again. And so you get to know a car very well when you really, really push it to that envelope.
When you do 1,000 miles in one.
The red mist descended when any time Mr. Gandy here saw a 300 SL. It was like a man possessed.
Made it sound like it was me.
It was you.
It wasn't. Who got told off?
I didn't. Did I get told off?
You got told off.
Oh, I got, yeah.
By other competitors, which I just
Other
laughed at.
competitors are saying, well,
But then people don't like being overtaken,
I
do
was
they?
driving too quickly. I didn't think I was. I didn't think I was. I didn't do anything illegal.
No.
I mean, no.
Really?
I mean, I was really lucky to be in a car with you for so long doing the Mille.
Lucky?
Lucky. I know, because you
Very
drove
nice.
really, really well. But what I was saying is I was really lucky to actually see how well you're a very, very good driver.
Oh, thank you. I haven't, no. I mean, you have all the qualifications and you are an incredible driver. But there's a nice thing, actually. I say this about people, that actually when you're in those situations, and that is a scary race.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
things
very
can
scary.
go, it's not a
Very
race,
wrong.
is it? I shouldn't really call it a race.
Well, it is a race.
Can
really.
go wrong very, very quickly. You're in pre-1957 cars.
No seatbelts, drum brakes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, how many different ways do you want to kill yourself in a race?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Put us two in a car together.
Yeah.
But to sit there casually, and it's like you've got to have that trust in that person that you're race. So can I overtake? You go, and you're on a winding bend, and you go, yes. You are putting also for navigation, right? You're putting your life in that other person's hands.
Yeah.
But also that other person who's driving, you've got to have such confidence in that. And I've been with people that,
Scared you.
yeah. I mean, there are some drivers. Also, there's some drivers, sometimes when they know you're into cars, they get into a car and try to maybe
Show
impress
off.
you, and
Right.
that is my worst thing of the world.
Scare you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm getting soaking wet. It's raining.
Bloody classic cars.
It's
People would
raining
have one.
inside.
Stop breathing then.
It's not condensation. Okay, right, moving on from the Mille, because we could just sit and giggle a lot about it. How did you get into cars? Where did this love come
No,
from?
Joe's really. I mean, it's nothing really from my family. They're not into cars. That's something for them that gets them from A to B. They like a nice car.
Yeah.
I always joke that I could turn up in a yellow, 250 GTO Ferrari. I could leave in a yellow Vauxhall Nova. My father would not notice a difference. No, he wouldn't.
Love it.
So that's basically. He just still says to me today, because I once had a little off in my Peugeot when I was about 18, as we all do. I ended up in a grassy bank, and he still says to this day, drive carefully, mind the grassy banks. I'm like, honestly, it was like 22 years ago. Like, let it go.
Bless.
Yeah. But So yeah, so it was. There's something instilled into me with cars. From as little as I can be, I just remember being on my go-kart, doing
So you had a
handbrake
go-kart.
turns.
So you did. There was
Yeah,
a little
a
need for speed in there somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pedal
it's a pedal
go-kart,
one.
and
Okay.
with a handbrake.
Oh,
You can have a lot of fun with a handbrake.
okay.
And that was it. And yeah, from there, sort of, I should have.
Did you have pictures of because we're about the same age, aren't we? So we could have had the Testa Rossa.
So I had
the
a 40.
Diablo. Oh, you had the 40. Yep.
Yeah, but my actually favourite was the 288 GTO. That was on my wall. And then F40, and then XJ220.
Did you?
Yeah.
I love that car.
Yeah. So yeah, that was where I was at with that really. And
See, it was there. It was just buried.
it was just the passion. I always had a car magazine. I still do always have a car. I go away, how much we travel, and there's a car magazine on me. So that's my passion. And if you can somehow I've got from being in the fashion industry to enjoying my passion. I review cars for Vanity Fair, and I've done stuff for GQ, I've done stuff with you, and that passion's turned into something that I can enjoy. But to me, it's
Well,
design.
you're also very knowledgeable about it.
I'm not as
you
knowledgeable
are.
as I used to be. If I'm totally honest, I think there's a lot of modern day stuff now.
That's called children, I think.
Well, that's actually very good.
Your life.
Yeah, I don't know my own name half the time, so anything about cars. But I've lost a bit of interest in modern stuff now, and
I get that.
And I think that's really because everything is so good, everything is so capable,
Yeah, it is,
everything handles well. There's not when people must ask you if they're going to get a car. They say, well, can we ask your advice? And I sort of say there isn't a bad car. At the same time, I say there isn't a bad car. I
mean, there's plenty of bad cars, but I mean,
But you know what I mean? It's like, but they're all. If you're blindfolded and going into cars nowadays.
yeah, they're too easy.
Yeah, it's
not like this old girly.
No.
But that's why we love classic cars, because they're quirky.
Well, it's an event every time you get in one as well. It's an occasion. It's special. It's what people. It's the sort of the love that people get from looking at cars.
Yeah.
From the enjoyment. So I love the restoration progress. I actually probably make it last longer than I should.
But this did take about 3 years.
This did take a long time.
4 years.
The pandemic didn't help, but then Parry, so goes, are you changing this? And I'm like, yeah, I might, I'm changing this. And I take a while to get back to him and stuff. So it's, but then there's also that attention to detail that I am adamant that has to go into the cars. And
well, that's why they all look so beautiful.
Sort of perfectionist side.
Sorry.
You just unpicked my window.
Hanging off.
It's just don't pull through it. Don't
touch it.
But it's that. It's like the enjoyment of people getting from that, and keeping something on the road, restoring that. And I do the same with houses, and there's just that love of that.
Yeah, you do. You're a creative.
I wouldn't go that far.
No, you are
I
a creative.
choose pretty colours for stuff.
No, don't put yourself down. You are a creative, and you've got a very good eye.
But then I keep, if you look at, I've done the same thing with certain rules with the 120 is I kept it to 3 colours, which we did the silver, the black, and then we did the tan. And this one is exactly the same. We kept it to the blue, the silver, didn't have as much chrome, and the tan. It's being at Bicester Heritage is you're seeing all these specialists and engineers,
Isn't it
and
fantastic.
it's incredible. There's not places like this in the world.
No, I kind of want to just move here.
Yeah, bring the dog.
Bring the dog.
Yeah. Not that I could be much help in the workshops.
And so, what do you think? Where's next? Are you going to keep this one? Have you got another restoration?
I'll never get rid of. Stupidly, I named the Jaguar after my daughter.
Oh.
So I can't ever get rid of the Jag.
Because we had Betsy, didn't we?
With Betsy.
120. Betsy.
So yeah, the Jag I will always keep. I've got to enjoy her for this one for a while. And I have another daughter now, so really this car should be Tabitha.
Yes.
But then I feel like my name, I'm never going to get rid of.
No, you just
I can't get rid of tabs. Let's go around tabs. I'm not going to sell tabs.
Oh,
so I can't do that. But
ideally, move on. And actually, would you like to start really just slowly, always having something in the works?
I think that's where I'm kind of at, is something to work on. Because I'm building. we're building a house and the garage for me to actually enjoy these, because these are still at
But you
the
actually
restorers.
start tinkering yourself.
No, just drive them.
No, I was about to say.
Absolutely. If anything goes wrong,
I have to start with
I call Parry
call
on
Parry.
the hotline.
I have to start with a mini metro or something.
No, but I would love to, but that's time. I mean, I've got less time than ever, with kids
Yes,
and businesses,
no, I know.
and with Wellware it started.
Yes, so tell me about Wellware.
So Wellware was, it's a concept of moving, of combining apparel and wellness for the first time.
Amazing.
So
clothes actually make you feel good.
yeah, we've got the aloe vera and the antibacterial, and we've got other technology going into it. So that's where we are with it, Josie. Really, I hopefully got all my experience from working with M&S, a brand I love, still do love, but it was time to. I wouldn't have been happy. I needed to do something myself.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only other thing as well. People have asked me to come in and collaborate on their cards as well. So
Well, that's
you've done
amazing.
your cards, could you help us?
You could turn this into a whole business.
Well, I could just hobby. I would never charge people for doing it. I quite, would love to do it with people and spend other people's money instead of my own.
Yeah, exactly.
That's actually honest.
Very good point.
Yeah. But no, I suppose. What I would want to do next, I don't know. There's nothing I've always bought the cars that have always appealed to me within the price range. Not going anything too mad. I've never done anything classic Ferrari. I keep looking at stuff now and again.
Like what? What little numbers?
I'm not sure.
What are the magic
I mean,
numbers?
everything's gone up. Even.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing.
They're hard to
find, or they're absolutely buggered that you have to spend a lot of money on them.
Or there's something 80s into Lancer Delta Integrale.
I think you should get a 220.
I would love a 220. I have to say, I would absolutely
they really
love one. Because you couldn't drive them actually, could you? Because you couldn't.
I didn't. I refused to give mine back when I did an episode with Kid in a Sweet Shop.
But people couldn't
refused to give it back.
Get tyres for them, could they? Until Classics then worked with, I can't remember who it was. To then create the tyres for people to drive them again. It's one of my favourite cars of all time.
You get them now. I mean, they are just unbelievable. Okay, so just keeping everything open, but got ideas, got plans.
Yeah, I also probably need to run a caterum for a year.
Oh, so much fun.
That would be because we're going to be
sideways.
slightly out of. It's exactly what Chris Harris said to me, actually.
Is it?
Yeah. He's got one of these. He was like, let's take our 356s out. And I was like, okay, well, I'll see you there.
In the caterums, take the caterum out.
You see that? And I love the idea of the caterum of having the essence of something. It's not a classic. You've still got the open to the elements. It's an event to get in it. And you don't, it's again, you can have 200 brake horsepower and have so much fun in those cars.
Oh my God, stop. It just is a go-kart on steroids.
So I think I need to get that probably out of my system.
That could be.
I'll go caterum.
Yeah, caterum.
I'll go caterum.
Okay, so I want to kind of go back. So how did you even get into modelling?
I won a competition.
Did you?
Yeah. You sound surprised. Really? You won a competition? Are you sure?
Wow. Did you pay them?
It was this morning modelling competition.
It was this morning? You did it this morning?
Yeah.
Wow.
And a housemate of mine put me in from university. And
you had no idea?
No idea.
So this morning is the TV show in the UK. So and it was like a Mille, finding the Mille, this morning model, and you got
somehow won.
Wow! I mean, goodness, T-birds.
Yeah, so it went from there. Not me though. I mean, it was a tough grind for 5 years. Loved it.
Because you really are the most, I think, the most successful. Because I'm extremely biased because you're my friend, but the most successful male model ever.
There's a lot of successful guys. Probably I've done it a little bit a different way and branded and licensed names and stuff like that. So from probably outside the industry, I've just used it. I suppose I've looked at it from a business more than I suppose a lot of guys are sort of
We're
do it as a
very
passion.
good at it.
I wouldn't say that. I've made a living of looking grumpy for 20 years.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah.
How do you get the lines?
People go smile. I'm like smile.
It's all about getting the lines.
But now people say they sing a different side to me with Wellware and having control and a little bit more freedom.
Being an entrepreneur.
People are like, wow, you actually smile. Like you're
There is a
and I
brain.
love it.
There is a model with a
well,
brain.
I wouldn't say that.
The one brain
Shrugged.
cell.
That's pushing it a little bit. How did you get into modelling?
I got spotted.
Did you?
Yeah, on a beach. And someone came up and they said, because I was really tall and really gangly, and they said, "Oh, you're quite quirky, you should start modelling."
Yeah.
And so my mum knew Lorraine Ashton, who owned IMG in
Yeah.
London, and it's a big model agency. And I needed to, I was wanting to show jump as my profession. And so I wanted to, I'd just gone, because I was 15, from ponies to horses. And I bought my first youngster horse to
Yeah.
bring up through the grades, and that was how I made money, was buying and selling horses, making them. And my lorry was too small, because it was a pony lorry and it kept on rubbing its tail. So I needed to buy a bigger lorry and I didn't have any money. So Mum was kind of like, well, why didn't you try modelling and go down to Lorraine Ashton? And I think 3 weeks later I was opening Marc Jacobs in New York. Yeah, it happened
Wow.
very, 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 very quickly.
Oh, you see, that's what I'm jealous of, because I always say that's the beauty of fashion. It's like people go, how do I do what you've done, or how does it happen? Like I said, listen, you could be spotted off the street and be opening
And just be
Calvin Klein next
Yeah.
week, or you could be
working
like
with
me,
Stephen
like
Mizell,
hard graft,
front cover.
like, yeah, and it takes time. You never can tell.
No, right place, right time.
Yeah,
It's a complicated
that's
one.
exactly it.
Goodness gracious. She is.
There you go.
She's gorgeous.
Yeah, she's a lovely thing. I'm
mean-
quite proud now of course seeing her. I'll just shut my door properly. Sorry.
But what a
There you go.
beautiful thing. And I feel very delighted that her first time on the track was
very
for a
happy.
kid in a sweet shop.
And you were next to me,
Yes.
which is always the
I
way
know,
I
the
like.
dynamic duo.
Like driving my car.
But thank
thank
you
you.
so much.
Pleasure.
Thank you for coming and sharing your
Lovely
stories
catch
and
up,
your
of course.
beautiful car.
Thank you.
And we can't wait for the next one.
Oh goodness me.
Yeah. It's like the bank balance.
Yeah.
Very-
My accountant just
Yeah. He's crying.
exactly somewhere.
Go
yeah,
on.
you get to.
Let's
Right.
go to the pub.
Pub.